Are you absolutely kidding me? I mean, that can't be, man. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. A-Rod and J-Lo calling off the wedding. Wow, that's crazy, man. That is absolutely cray-cray, dude. J-Lo and A-Rod calling off their wedding. It's got to be one of the biggest headlines in a long time, man. Them two were like they were perfect. They were like the unresistible. They were that couple that just nobody could break up. You know what I'm saying? Unresistible ain't the word. Unbreakable is the word I was looking for. There you go. They were unbreakable, them two, and now they're not going to get married. Are you kidding me? A-Rod and J-Lo call off the wedding? That's just nuts, man. That's just crazy, psychotic nuts. A-Rod and J-Lo call it off. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's big, man. That's big, you know. That is big. I'm trying to multitask, by the way. Hello, Mike Digital. Mike, I got some good news for you. I talked to Ray of Jerk Off Radio. I put in a message for Dirty Twig. And I talked to Alan Ornstein last night. I told you he's recovering from COVID. We got all the players, Mike. You got Ray, you got Twig. All we need is Playhouse, and we got this thing set, man. You know, we got Al Ornstein, we got Ray, we got Twig, we got Frank Playhouse, and we got me and you, and boom, we got 6 people right there. We can do reunion night right here on the apps. Bring back the live video days, man. Bring back the live video days. What? Get the fuck out of here, dude. That's crazy. Dude, seriously, get the fuck out of here. Your mom just died. What the hell happened, dude? What the hell happened? You got the call an hour ago? Holy shit, dude. I'm fucking sorry, man. I was trying to give you some good news, man. I'm sorry to fucking hear that, dude. That's absolutely fucking crazy. Dude, is she like in her 60s, 70s? I don't know how old your mom would be, dude. But that's absolutely ludicrous, dude. I mean, what the hell, bro? That shit's whack, dude. Oh, you were kind of distant. Okay, okay. Like you guys haven't talked in a while. I think you told me you're pretty tight with your in-laws. That's right. I don't think you really brought up your family much. You always talked about your in-laws. I know that. Man, that's still that's horrible, dude. That's horrible, dude. Man, it's absolutely horrible, dude. Go deal with that, man. Good luck with that, man. Go deal. I mean, good luck with dealing and trying to find out what the hell happened, dude. I mean, crazy stuff, dude. Yeah, dude, get yourself some stuff, man. And yeah, that's absolutely horrible news, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's man, life happens like that, boom, like that, man. You snap your fingers and life just happens, dude. It's just, man, damn. Yeah, man. But well, like I said, man, go get yourself something like calm your nerves, dude. Go, you know, get yourself a bottle or something, dude. You're gonna need it, man. This is it's a tough time for everybody, man. I mean, I know like when Melissa's mom's viewing, I had to have a damn freaking bottle of Captain Morgan's. Just a little one, but I had to have it. So yeah, I mean, when we went to Melissa's mom's viewing, I freaking told Melissa we need to have some liquor. Like I just man. I am one guy, man. I don't do funerals well, man. And with COVID, I mean, it was like it wasn't easy, man. Like you have to wear a mask the whole time during the viewing. I mean, that was like her mom wanted a whole burial, the viewing and the mask the next day. So it was, for everybody, it was tough. Everybody had to wear the mask, and man, I tell you, man, life gets real like that, man. I mean, whew, That just, yeah, condolences to your entire family, man. I'm sorry to hear this. Yeah, when death happens, dude, it shocks you. It shocks your system, man. I mean, you know, man, it's just, man, you remember what happened to me, man, when my buddy Famous died, man. You were the one that sent me the obituary, man, and you told me, oh, Famous just died, like, and dude, I went numb and I fucking just totally like, I went on a bad path, dude. When death happens, dude, it's just like you go on a bad path. I mean, especially because Famous was tight, man. He was my dude, man. I mean, like, he was like, they say everybody has a close boy, like one of their boys, and I never met the guy in person, dude, but we talked, all the time, all the time, dude. The weird thing is, before he died, dude, we just reconnected for the first time in a couple of months because my life was busy, I just moved into the new house, and you know, and like when I was talking to Ray again, dude, I had that flashback to what Famous said to me, man. He was always like, he always got a kick out of Ray, man. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Well, I'm sure Mike went to deal with that, man, and wish, like I said, wish his whole family well during this tough time, and it sucks, man. It sucks, it's a brutal thing. Man, damn. Life happens. Yeah. But I was reading that story, getting back on topic here, with the JLO and AROD thing, man, and it's just, I really thought that two were never ever going to be broken apart. I figured J Rod and AROD, or yeah, J Rod, there you go. AROD and JLO were a couple that would just never ever be bought up. I mean, like they had a lot of similarities. I mean, he's 6 years younger than her, but they did a lot of common ground to start a relationship on. That they both were big money people. Hey, Harry, how's it going? How's it going, Harry? Yeah, I'm talking about J Rod. We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him J Rod. That's no more. J Lo and A Rod. It's just it's a big shocker when I heard that news that the two of them are no longer a couple. So I'm not doing the computer studio setup right this minute here. I just came on to talk about J Lo and A Rod breaking up, which I seen in the. I was watching the news tonight on a program I watch on the cable every night, and the host mentioned that them two aren't together anymore. He says, "Yeah, no, no, no more J Lo and A Rod. Them two are history. They're done. They called it off." And I started Googling stories about it, and I said, "Holy smokes!" I said, "Is this real?" Because he said the news came out today. Because I seen it, I thought it was old news when I started reading the story, but here I heard him talk about it on TV, and he says that the news came out today that A Rod and J Lo are calling their marriage off. I guess they were both smart enough to see that, the marriage wouldn't work down the road, I guess. So they called it off. Yeah. Yes, indeed. The Sixers are up 63-53 at the half. And the weather here in Philadelphia, it went up to 72 today, but now it's like 50 out there. It dropped fast, dropped like a rock because we have a cold front coming through from the northwest. So, yeah, I'm just talking about the news of the day, So, it's just, I'm actually, Baylor got beat. I don't really follow the college basketball until Sunday night, to be honest. I don't follow it till Sunday night. Sunday night when they do the selection show, then I start following it from that point out. I'll watch the pre-games, and I will watch the pre-games, and I will go watch the tournament games if it's local Philadelphia teams, and whoever I pick for the bracket to win. And since my buddy Tom McCarthy is going to be doing the announcing, he's going to be the announcer for the March Madness on, part of the March Madness. Any game that he's going to be calling, I'm going to watch that. Yeah, I don't do much research. I wait till the selection show and I listen to that Clark Kellogg guy. He's pretty smart. But, you always got to take like an upset. You pick your upsets randomly. Trying to win a bracket is like doing what's it called, roulette. You know what I mean? Like it's just you can't get no science on those brackets. Every year is an upset. Every stinking year is an upset. You waste all this time on that research stuff. I'm telling you, you're not going to win. You're better knowing who's good. Like Villanova is a good basketball team. Philadelphia area team. They're the best team in Philadelphia. Is the Villanova Wildcats. I mean, they're not in Philadelphia. Their school, it's located west of Philadelphia, about almost a half-hour drive, maybe more than a half-hour drive. I used to live near their school, so I used to Uber those kids all the time. I used to drive all those kids when they needed rides that they call Uber. I'd be the guy that shows up to get them. I took a whole bunch of them to the malls and everything else over the course of time. I used to actually drive them from their dorms to their classes because they had dorms that were a couple miles away. So I'd go pick them up and drive them 2 or 3 miles, and I'd run the next one back and forth. I would do like the little, Uber service back and forth. I just kept getting pings to go get them after I dropped one off. And finally, I left the area and went into the city to work where I made my real money because I would have the business people that needed a lift to the airport, so I give them a ride over there. But I read a story about a guy who was driving Uber that wound up dying from COVID because he did Uber during COVID. It's not safe. It is not safe. You're not 6 feet apart. Okay, that's number one. You're not 6 feet apart. You don't know if that person has full COVID. It's a very dangerous thing to do. You'd be putting your life on the line right now in these times. So I'm not doing it. I remember the girl sat in my car and started coughing, and she said to me, "I was at the basketball game the night before." This was actually 1 year ago yesterday, and she did that, and that freaked me the hell out. I said, "I'm not driving no more with these people." Well, you're not 6 feet apart. You're risking your life. I don't care what you say. You don't know if your driver's got COVID. You don't know. So I'd rather be alive than dead. So I'm not going to argue that with nobody. I don't care if the biggest celebrity in the world came in this room right now and tried to argue it with me. I'm not going to argue it with you. I measured the car seat to the back seat, and it wasn't 6 feet. It was less. So, well, I know people that have COVID right now. Okay. They have it. I know people. Okay. And they said that, I go to a restaurant because the restaurant keeps me 6 foot apart. That's why. Okay. The restaurant is keeping me seated 6 feet apart. Okay. I can go to a restaurant because they keep me 6 feet apart. They're protecting me. Well, anyway, I'm not going to sit here and have a long, drawn out discussion tonight with you, Nancy. I know how you get. I'm not even going to start tonight, Nancy, because I know how you get. You always want to give me a hard time every time I try to have a conversation with you. You want to sit there and start that you're Miss Know-It-All. I know you, and these people don't know you. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't fight with most people. I really don't. I don't like picking fights with people. But when somebody gives me a hard time, I just don't like to deal with it, okay? So I watch a lot of TV programs. I listen to a lot of these guys on the radio, and I trust them, and they talk about the truth. So that's that. That's that. I did my research on the subject. Well, Nancy, I've known you for a long time, and I know how you are, and I'm speaking on a track record. Okay, I keep a track record on people. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm stating it for the record. The new people don't have any idea what I know about the track record. Okay. Last night was Busker reunion. Tonight, I'm just coming on just on a Friday night to chill out. I don't want to get my blood pressure up. I'm dealing with enough issues with that stuff. I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't want to do it. I like people that come here and, that are reasonable and fair with me. I don't like somebody comes here and gives me a hard time about and asks me questions that I know exactly where you're going with it. That's the way it is. I am not here to put a show on tonight. I'm here to chill out and just stream. Okay, I'm not here to do a show tonight. I came in here to talk about JLO and AROD breaking up. That's all I did. I wanted to come in here something easy to talk about. I don't want to get in depth tonight. I'm not in the mood to do a full show tonight. I do not get paid to do this. I did something last night to try to bring people together. I really did. I tried to do a show last night to bring people together. And a lot of people didn't show up. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed that a lot of those people didn't show up. Oh, it was fun. Joe Simon was great. I mean, the first hour was awesome. After Joe left, it kind of slowed the pace. When Joe left, the pace lost the momentum because, the big star was gone, So I know the reality of the situation. I know the reality of the situation. Joe is very nice to come on and do it, and Joe is a big celebrity. So, anyway, I had one of those nights, man. I should have just stayed here and got in my zone. I have one of those nights where it's just like, I just like to sit down and relax sometimes. I worked really hard to put that show on last night. And I don't get nothing out of it. I really don't. I don't get nothing out of that show. I'm saying? It was a chance to bring people together. I really wanted to test some people, and I found out that some people's characters aren't as good as I thought they would be. They damn well knew we were having Busker reunion night. They didn't come in, most of these big shots that they like to call themselves. I'm talking about the ones who were on Busker, too. I'm talking only about the people from Busker. This has nothing to do with the people that are on Haps. This is the Busker people. You know who they are. I'm not going to say their names. They played dumb and acted like we weren't having it, and they damn well knew we were having it. Joe is the only one that came in. I reached out to Joe directly, and I said, Joe, would you be willing to do it? I said, you'll be the superstar. Because you know what it was? Their ego would get killed because they couldn't be the superstar. They couldn't come on and talk to Joe. Oh, God forbid they did that. God forbid. So that's all. That's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, I'm not sitting here trying to be egotistic about it, though. You know what? Like I said, I put it together to try to, reunite people together as a group. I thought maybe it would be nice if everybody would just put everything aside for a night and be civil one another and pay homage to an app that we all loved. That's all I wanted was people to come pay homage to an app that we all loved. That's all I wanted from people was just come in and pay homage to it. And a lot of them didn't show up. They didn't show up for it. And to me, that just tells me that like who they are. It tells me who these people really are. They're lost in their own world, and they have no, you know, they have no interest in paying respects to an app that they used to love before. And I tried to, Yo Pickles. I understand she probably didn't even know it was happening. They weren't busy. They were sitting here on Haps doing their own thing last night. There's one of the biggest frauds on here. I'm not going to say the name, and I'm not going to say another word about it because, what they're going to do. They're going to censor me then, and they're going to put me down in the bottom of this app. And I don't want to be on the bottom of this app because I have good talent not to be wasted. So, well, like I said, some of them have big egos because they got lucky and they have huge followings now, and now they think that they're God's gift to earth because they get promoted by certain people. Okay? I'm not going to say another word. Like I said, I've said my piece. I'm going to leave it at that. So I work really hard to put together something, though. Like in that case, I did. And I still got other things coming together. I've got a whole bunch of other people that I'm working with to bring them in. So, I don't want to ruin it for them. So they're excited about my ideas. These other people are really excited about it. They're looking forward to coming in, you know. So, well, I'll say this much. What Joe Simon did was very, very respectable and very nice of him to do that. He came right on and he said, I'll do this and I'll get up here. And he didn't want to get on camera and he got on camera and everything. So, he really went over and beyond to help me out with that. And I really, really appreciate what he did for me last night. That's very respectable. So I'm glad there's some classy people like Joe left in the world that actually remembers their roots and where they came from and not get a big head because some other apps got management pushing them to the ceiling. I'll say that much. Because, I should have thousands of views on this app. As hard as I work, I'm talking about every show. I should have thousands of people here, but I don't. And so respond accordingly to it. I don't get paid for this. I want to state that again. I'm not here to get paid for this. I'm here because I want to be here. If I didn't want to be here, I could easily hit the end button, delete the app, and never come back. It wouldn't kill me if I had to hit the end button and delete it and never come back again. I could survive, believe me. Some people might doubt that, but I could survive without this app. But I come here because I choose to try to give people an opportunity to come in and have fun with me. And there's a lot of talented people out here. There's people, believe me, listen. No, I'm not deleting it, RNC. Don't start fake rumors, dude. Come on, man. I'm deleting it. I'm going to get Leo 2.0 on you, man. Speaking of Leo, where's he at tonight? Let's find that guy. I know he's on there. He was on earlier today with his suit on and all, no hat on his head. It's pretty funny, actually, seeing Leo on there. So I take a lot of heat to do this stuff, though. I don't get paid for it. And last night something happened. I got a little backlash from it last night from, outside of this app. I got backlash because, I was doing something, late at night. So, this is affecting my life now. So like, if things don't start changing around here and people don't get on the train and say Grizz is going to get the push that he deserves and get the promotions that he deserves from the management of this app, then I might have to consider going, you know what I mean? And saying the hell with it. Because I just watched the show with the management of this app and they were promoting everybody but my show. God forbid they gave me a little shout out. Okay. I got it off the air, Harry. I got a little backlash. That's all. I live in a small house, Harry, and they weren't happy with the noise I was making late at night. I'll say it. I don't care. I was told that I make too much noise when I broadcast up here. It's not a big house, Harry. The voice carries. You know what I'm saying? So, Harry, I wanted to ask you, by the way, can you tell me what that radio station number is? Because my buddy Tom, the chief meteorologist in Orlando, we were talking. Me and Tom were talking, Harry. Hey, T-Bomb. Me and Harry were talking. I'm sorry, me and Tom were talking, Harry, and he asked, we were brought up this 104.1 FM station that he used to be on, too. He said he used to go on there. I sent them a tape one day, and the program director told me he can't let me come on there. I sent him a tape, and I said, hey, I would like to come on Sunday mornings, and I pay you for the airtime, because it's a big station, and I get my name out there. I told him I'd buy the airtime. You don't need to have a commercial or anything. I'll give him the money. It'll cover the commercials. And he listened to the thing and he calls me back and he says, "Oh, no, I can't. Sorry. We can't do it." Like he made a decision based off one tape, Harry. Is that crazy or what? He took one tape, one air check I gave him from 1360 show, and he turned around and he says, "No, we can't do that." It was a couple years ago. I contacted this 104.1. It was owned by Clear Channel Corporation. And I believe he was the program director of the station. Me and Tom were talking about this today. Tom told me the name of the programming director. And, Orlando's not a big, huge market. It's got Disney and Universal, but it's no New York or Philadelphia. I didn't understand why this guy turned it down for a Sunday morning. Well, no, he didn't ask me for any more air checks, though, Harry. I would have gave him a few more air checks. I've got some beautiful air checks with the CDs. I'll tell you what, Harry. My buddies, that night, they all said to me, that was the best radio show you ever did in your life. I had the girl Casey as my guest. Now, listen, the owner of the station had really crappy, he had really crappy, he had really crappy equipment. So, like, you would hear the beeps on the air check, Like when I'd bring in a phone call, you would hear beep, beep, like on the actual recording. Because this guy, he passed away. Onion Pizza John, I called him. He didn't know what the hell he was doing when it came. He had this junky equipment, and then they upgraded it to a computer system. And I went back 7 years later and did another radio thing with them. Because I never got paid to be on radio. I used to pay him money, so I'd come on there and do my thing. I'd buy the airtime off him. Onion Pizza John, all he'd do is take your money. He wouldn't give you no business. He gave you no help. He was a horrible businessman, this guy, but he gave me the airtime, and it gave me the call letters. And then one day, one of his workers gave me a press pass. He said, "Here, I'll give you a press pass with the radio station logo," and he gave me a little certificate that said crew member of a movie that taped in Philadelphia with Robert De Niro. And it was a football movie. Was it Invincible? You were WPGS 840 AM. Okay, there you go. There's my announcing audition right there, Harry. You're tuned to WPGS 840 AM. Florida. I don't know what town, so I just said Florida. I'm not an announcer anyway. I'd rather be I'm a host, Harry. I'll bring in big people. If I had a gig on there, I'd bring in some people, Tom would come on there. He would call in if I, had a gig on there. And I'll tell you what, Tom probably would let me have a couple of his other people from the station to come on there, Titusville and Mims. Okay. Let me see here. So WPGS 840 AM. I want to take a listen, Harry. I want to take a listen to it sometime. I like listening to people. I scout people, believe it or not, Harry. I scout people to see what they're about, and like on the air I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Like I know you as a guy, you're a good guy, I'm just talking about I scout people based on their style on the radio. I used to call this guy by the name of Steve Fredericks, okay? And Steve got into some trouble. He got into some legal trouble. And, but I still had mad respect for the guy, And I used to call him up as a 12-year-old kid and talk to him on the radio, about Mike Schmidt. That's what I used to call him about, Mike Schmidt. And then sometimes I call about the rest of the team and I give him my point. I would say, "Oh, yeah, this guy's no good, Steve." And I was 12 years old calling this guy on the radio, I actually, one point, became friends with Ed Wade, who used to be the former general manager of the Phillies. I think Kurt said that during his time there, that Ed Wade was the general manager of the baseball team. And me and Ed were friends, This was back, I guess, towards the end of Ed's reign as the GM. He was GM for many years. So, yeah, I see that. Streama. I never heard of this one before. Streama. Okay. Oh, you guys do oldies? I got a buddy that used to do an oldies show on the internet. Big Big Daddy Denny, I think his name was on there. Doo-wop Volt, he called it. He called it the Doo-wop Volt. He was the guy that guided me over to this radio, or Onion Pizza John, as I call him. Onion Pizza John. His problem is that he had a lot of talent but everybody in the industry kind of knocked him for taking people's money. They said, "Why in God's name is he taking people's money?" They used to knock him for doing that because you'd buy the time off him. And I would just hand him a business credit card, and I'd tell him put it on the card, and I'd pay it monthly, my business card there. I racked up $5,000 in debt on that business card. I guess I gave him half of it probably. But I have some beautiful CDs over here of old shows. I've been playing them for you guys. I've been trying to upload them on the computer, but they won't upload on there. I tried to upload them in on a file so I could play it directly off the computer on a file, but it hasn't worked for me. I've been trying to upload them. The old computers, I used to upload everything on there. So, we go off the air at sunset, but stream 24/7. Okay, there you go. So you go off the air at night. Okay. So you guys are kind of like what they would call low power radio, right, Harry? Is that what they call you, low power? Because John stayed on 24/7. I had the 11:30 at night? No, 11 o'clock at night till 6:30 in the morning. That was my shift on Thursday nights. I had that, and I bought a team with me. I bought a guy that was selling beer. He was the pirate beer man, and then with him, I bought a young lady by the name of Jessica. It's a 1K watt station. Okay. So yeah, you're low power radio then, of course, in the business, that it's low power then at 1K. Because in Philadelphia they're 50,000, 50,000 watts. You know that, Harry? Yeah, Philadelphia. We had the big talker 1210 WPHT now. It used to be CAU. That's where Fredericks was on. He was on CAU. I used to call him up on the 50,000 watter. My uncle used to listen to a program on there at night on that 1210 CAU, Radio Classics it was called. He used to go up in his room and listen to it at night. I used to stay over there. My aunts were over there and all. And I'd go over there and stay, and he would go up to his room at a certain time to turn on his Radio Classics. He loved that show. I mean, he was born in the 20s. He's departed us a long time ago, but yeah, he loved Radio Classics. That was a show they used to air on WCAU AM, Philadelphia, 50,000 watter. It's a beautiful station. I wanted to get on there one day, but I never had the chance to get on there as a host, A couple of my friends were on there. Tom McCarthy was on there doing the Radio Phillies pre- and post-game shows. So was Scott Graham, another guy who I, crossed paths with. I wouldn't call him a friend, but we crossed paths and we had a good rapport, Nice guy, Scotty Graham's a real nice guy. He does the Eagles preseason games on television here, Scott Graham. And he's a hardworking radio TV guy. He's worked. He paid his dues over the years, Scotty Graham. Now he does Westwood One nationwide. He does the studio show. I don't know anything about the Pittsburgh market. I couldn't tell you about Pittsburgh. I know nothing about Pittsburgh. That's one market I have no idea about. I know Pittsburgh somewhere down in probably like the 100th market in the country. It's a small market. Having experience in the Philadelphia market, I should be able to walk into half of these markets across the country and just get the morning show if I want it because of the fact I have so much experience doing this stuff. I mean, I spent my time at NJC and everything. Well, it must be a big watt then. It's got to be a big watt if you're pulling it in at nighttime. Let me see here. Trying to figure this out here. So let's see. I'm just doing a little research here. Let's see. You know, I'll tell you what, Harry. Wait a minute. That's WGRU. I think that rings a bell to me. Oh, ABC in New York is the best one to be on. That's the Mac Daddy of them all. WABC New York City. There's WNBC, WCBS 880 AM. Yeah, those were the glory days of radio. My Lord, the glory days. Oh, good, Harry. There you go. There you go. Harry, you know what it is? I'll tell you what. Radio stations nowadays, you can get them probably cheap. These corporations aren't asking for much, I heard. You probably could get them a lot cheaper. I mean, years ago, it'd been worth a couple $1,000,000. Now it's not worth that much. Cousin Brucey played the Beatles. I've heard of Cousin Brucey. I never heard him personally, but I've heard of the guy. I'm just going to shut this door down here. I'm not good at this video crap that much. I thrive more on the radio, to be honest with you. That's why that Clubhouse app I checked out, I wanted to run a show over there, and I never got the audience to build the way I wanted it to, because those people over there, I would go in there and introduce myself, and I'd say, come follow me, and then they follow me. I have 200 some followers on Clubhouse in a matter of about 3 weeks. So that's the problem, is all these guys moved 50 daytime and 5 at night. Well, that's good, Harry. That's awesome if you got 50 daytime and 5 at night. I'll tell you what, Harry, you know who gave me my start in the business? A guy by the name of RJ. He was a disco legend in Philadelphia, and he moved it coast to coast, this guy, RJ. Let me see if I can pull up some stuff about RJ here and share it with you. Let me see here, because I'm sure he has some kind of website representing him. He was one of the hardest working guys in the business, RJ. I mean, the passion that man had for what he did. He called me up on the phone one day. He started giving me hell about something I did. He's a very passionate guy. Oh, yeah, he has a Facebook page. I think that's him. Let me make sure it's the same RJ here, because I just want to double check. He did have I think he had an RJ Forever website. This is it, RJ's Disco. Let's see. Let's see here. RJ's Disco. Oh, no, this ain't him. This is some guy in the UK. This ain't my RJ. No. This ain't my buddy RJ. Yeah, my buddy RJ, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for that man, he gave me the best break ever in the business. You know, he let me come to the TV station, and he let me do the whole thing. And then I took his job because they had a dispute, him and another owner. And RJ said, hey, you know what? You can keep it. And he walked away from it. And the other owner was by the name of Dr. Walter Moxley. And this was back in 1994. It was the winter of 94. And it was about 8 degrees outside. And he needed somebody to come down. Walter was going to host the show. And I called him up. I said, hey, Walt. I said, listen to me, buddy. I said, I worked on there with RJ. I said, how about I come down? He said, yeah, sure. Come on down. So I went down there. I had a little meeting with him. We talked. We shot the breeze. And Dr. Walter Moxley says, go ahead, go on the air. He says, sit down and do your thing, man. He says, I'll be behind the camera. And, if I want to yank you, I'll put on a commercial and I'll pull you out of there. And he let me do my thing. He even paired me up with his wife one night. He said, go ahead, you're gonna be on my wife tonight. He says, go ahead, you two go on. And he had me and his wife do the show. Her name was Diane. So yeah, Walter Moxley, God rest his soul. He passed away. He was Dr. Walter Moxley. Let's give him proper respect. Dr. Walter Moxley, one of the nicest guys. He looked like John Denver. I kid you not. He looked like a clone of John Denver. Such a nice guy too, I mean, he knew that when I talked to him, I knew exactly what I was trying to say to him, and He respected it. He liked my style, and he sat me down there. Like I said, let me do my thing. Put the wife on with me, and one night he had this music guy, and he says, "All right, I'll put the three of you on." And the wife, she was a little high strung at times, so we have the energy on the show though, and I like that. I said, she's easy to work with. I can handle her, because I knew what I was doing. I was at that point I was already under the belt. I had lots of experience at that station. Channel 7, WOCB, Philadelphia. It was sold. Let me see if I can bring up a story about the history of WOCB. WOCB 7. It's funny. They did that movie Up and Close and Personal. It was Up Close and Personal. So let's see. If you Google WOCB 7, all my stuff comes up. There is a story out there, though, about WOCB 7. I just have to find it. But we were licensed. We were a low-powered TV station. Let's see. We'll do low power 7 Philadelphia. That should bring it up. Low power 7 Philadelphia. Let's pull that up. Okay, here you go. They have it on Wikipedia. It's now known as WDPN TV. And it tells you in the story on Wikipedia that at one point, let's see here, that it was sold by Dr. Walter Moxley. So let's see here. They have a lot of like newer stories. I'm looking for the older stories about us. WEFGLD. Is that a station in Florida, Harry? Let's see here. They don't have the early history of My Beloved 7. They have all recent history about it. I'm reading this story real quick here. Oh, really? Interesting, Harry, because when I was there, we called it WOCB Channel 7 Philadelphia. For some odd reason, this I have this one, DPN Philadelphia. It says Channel 2, though. It came up when I put in. So, let me see, though. Former call signs, Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, this isn't my Channel 7. This is some garbage channel then, because this has a sign of Me TV 2. This is Channel 2. Yeah, Harry, you know what, though? Somebody obviously clearly made a bad mistake on this thing, because I'll tell you why. There is a story out there. My buddy had the story. He put the link out there about the history. I put low power 7 Philadelphia, and I got this other thing came back. We're legit, though. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to put in RJ Channel 7, and that'll probably pop this story I'm looking to share with you here, because RJ Channel 7, it was called Morton Broadcast Company. That's the company that owned our station. That was Dr. Moxley and RJ. Here it is. RJ, a broadcast pioneer. Here's the story I'm looking for, Harry. And let's see. So he has the history of RJ. He had all these different TV stations. And okay, here it is. Here it is, Harry. I'm going to share it with you here, this link. Hang on, I'm going to share it on the screen here. Okay, there you go. So there it is. W07CB Philadelphia. There's Ron. Open mic. There you go. So that was the show. Open mic, and it was Philadelphia 7. And this was, let's see here. So it was 1989. RJ pioneered low power television. And there it is. W07CB TV Philadelphia. It's about my buddy RJ. He's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. And the show is called Open Mic. That was with RJ. Whoop. Hold on. I'm going to flip it around again. Here we go. Yeah, so that's it. That's the story. I mean, that's all they got out there. And then RJ also joined in with WNJC Radio, which I eventually joined in with. Yeah, so there you go. There it is. Yeah. So that's my history in the business. My history in the business is that, I was on both 7 and NJC, like my buddy RJ, He used to be on a bunch of Philadelphia TV stations, Channel 29, Channel 17. His disco show ran, I'll tell you what year it ran in. Let's see here. So RJ's show ran on Channel 65 in Philadelphia. He also ran in the 70s, he was on Channel 17, WPHL TV, Philadelphia, Channel 17. He was on WIBF TV, Channel 29, and WKBS Television, Channel 48 in 66? Yeah, 66. He was on television for a decade, and during 1975, RJ and Company was syndicated in 20 markets, including New York, LA, and San Francisco. The program was known as Disco USA, RJ's Disco USA. So, yeah, he had a heck of a run, my buddy RJ there. He also ran a show on a WVLT FM 92.1 out of Vineland. It was called Something to Say with RJ on WVLT 92.1 FM. Cruising. That station's still in business, Cruising 92. That's over in Vineland, New Jersey. It's an FM channel. I don't know what their reach is, but I heard them in Northeast Philly on my car radio a couple times. I put it on in the car and I had it no problem. 92.1. It reached into the market of Philadelphia and a good chunk of Philadelphia. So, RJ, he's a big guy. He's got a big resume there. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy who gave me my break in the biz. He gave me my first gig on television. My 16th birthday, he had me come in studio and do a guest spot with him and a couple other people on the set. He said, you know what? He said, I'll put a 4-person set on, so that's what we did. He was a good promoter, good talent, he knew what he was doing. RJ was the best there was, he was a good mentor too. I was a 16-year-old kid and he's giving me, a class on the business of broadcasting. And, he called me up one night and he said, this was after TV was over and all. This was, more recent times. I'd say about maybe 10 years ago. He calls me up here at the house and he says to me, he says, Mike, he says, the biggest problem with this stuff nowadays is that, these owners, they get crazy with it. And, he said, how I was as an owner, so, well, thank you, Harry. Thank you. But like he said, look, he said, the bottom line is, he said, the business has changed so much, And let me tell you, Harry, this guy, he's probably like 75 years old now, RJ. He's no young kid. There was another guy who he used to work with by the name of Gene Arnold. I don't know if you ever heard that name in the business. Giant Gene Arnold. He was a big time music jock. You know, that was his thing. Giant Gene, the music machine, they called him. And I became friends with him on Facebook. And we would talk, you know, a little conversation here and there. And, you know, I stayed in contact with him. And then one day, all of a sudden, I get a message that go check Gene's Facebook. Here, he passed away. He had cancer and unfortunately didn't make it. It's a damn shame, you know? Yeah, Giant Gene Arnold. He was a household name in the industry, they told me, you know. They said Giant Gene was he was a giant, and you know, it's true. Giant Gene is a legit deal, you know. He was a well-respected guy. You know what? His wife, I wonder if I can get her to talk to me. She's a really sweet lady. She might be willing to come on and talk about what he did. I'm going to send her a message because he passed away a while back. And I'm going to check in on her and see how she's doing. You know, I don't know how she's doing these days, but her name was Terry. I'm going to try to real nice lady too, you know. I don't know if I'll be able to find her because, you know, unfortunately, Gene passed away a while back. But yeah, Giant Gene, I'll tell you, Harry, he was a nice guy too to talk to, and he would tell me little bits like, you know, pieces, but I never really found out exactly what he did. A friend of mine worked at he was a producer at WIP Radio. And he would tell me a little background about Giant Gene. He called my show a few times. This guy, Kyle, his name is. And maybe I can get him to come on and talk about Giant Gene one night because he knows the whole backstory. You know what I'm saying? He knows the whole story. I'm going to Google Giant Gene now. We'll see what we can find out. Let me see here. Giant Gene Arnold. See what I can find out about that gentleman. Because like I said, he's in the Hall of Fame too. I can tell you that much. Giant Gene was in the Hall of Fame. They put him in. Let's see what we got here. Gene Arnold. It should come right up. Your radio personality, Giant Gene. He was known as a radio and television personality from Philadelphia. So there you go. He was born Arnold Eugene Rubin. How about that? I never knew that about him. Dick Clark gave him the stage name Rick Roman. How about that? Dick Clark. He wrote songs and performed in rock and roll shows. There you go. He was a performer, Harry. He passed away in 2019, November. How about that? Yeah, he married Terry, and she also was a singer and entertainer. They were part of the Sound of Philly scene for years. So he produced records under the name Rick Roman. He began his career with Ron Joseph. How about that? Gene Arnold started his career. How about that? So he was a big deal in the Philadelphia business. He also hosted the Jerry Lewis Telethon in Philadelphia. He never told me all this stuff. He was in the movie Fighting Back, which was filmed in Philadelphia, and recently appeared in a Tim and Eric episode in the film The Nail and an episode of Law and Order Mercy Lights Out. How about that? This guy had a hell of a career. How about that? You know, I never knew who I was talking to, Harry. How about that? How about that? The Disco DJ Hall of Fame. Yeah, Giant Gene was true. You know, Harry, he really was a true giant, Giant Gene Arnold. You know, I really never even knew who I was talking to. I knew he was like well respected in the Philadelphia scene. I mean, people told me that, he was clearly a somebody, and, like I said, I enjoyed messaging with him on a Facebook, that's all I did. I never even once dawned on me to say to him, you know what, I would love to, pick up the phone and have a conversation with you. I should have sent him a message to have a phone conversation. Because I could have got to hear some good stories. That's the thing. You could hear some really good stories, so yeah. But like I said, I've worked hard in this business, with the TV thing. I used to take pride in putting together shows. When I was 16 years old, I put on Teen Talk. That was the show I was producing. I put it together. And RJ would say, come on down. And, he would go behind the camera and he'd say, anything you need me to do, let me know. And he said, that's it. You're on. He said, my man here, Joe Vitale, my cameraman, Joe Vitale would just give me the cue and we'd go live. And he said, if you want to take a break, just, he shoot me a little signal off camera, like, put your hand, throw up a thumb or something, a break, commercial. So, yeah. That's simple as that. That's all it was. That's all it was, just, RJ was good with me. He really was, and that man saved my life. RJ did. Well, you had to give him some kind of signal. You couldn't say if I said in the microphone, I want to take a break, and it's not professional when you're doing television. I used to have to wear a suit jacket to do TV. I had to be dressed up. I couldn't show up there in a t-shirt or something. RJ always wanted you to have a suit on the air. RJ said you got to wear your jacket on the air. It's the one rule he had. He didn't care about the necktie, but he wanted you to have a jacket on the air. He used to tell us, get the turtlenecks, he said, and put the jacket on. Yeah, RJ ran that place. He's from the old school television. RJ, he didn't play around. He was all business. Off the air, nice guy. He came over a party with us in the neighborhood. He stopped by, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously, RJ was the guy, like I said, he was a friend and everything. He used to come by the neighborhood a lot. He'd come riding around over here with Joe Vitale in the car because them two used to take rides. He knew where I lived. So one time he come riding down the street. He's beeping a horn. I look back because I hear my name. I turn around and it's him and Joe Vitale. And I said to him, I said, I'm going to work, man. I got to go. I don't got no time. Like that's the way I was with him. We had a rapport, I said, I got to go to work. I said, I can't stop and talk. I got to get down a bowl game and make some money tonight, So, but he would ride around the neighborhood, just pop up without even calling me. If he called me ahead of time, I'd say, come on in, come on in. I'll feed you and everything. I always told me, he's got to call me. He had my phone number. Give me a call and, we'll do something, You got to call me first, though. You can't just drop by, I had to go to work. I mean, at the time I was working a job at the ballpark. I was selling sodas or beers or, I was selling soda, I guess, at that time when he came by. It was years ago back, God, it's 21 years ago, probably he came by here when I was going to work. So, but I invited him to a couple parties and all with, he loved going to talk to my late buddy, Jim Clare, who lived back out here outside. He had a son that we used to go to school with and all. And, he'd come over and hang with Jim Clare because he was his age. RJ, like I said, is in his 70s. So, He'd come over and sit with Jim Clare there, and they would shoot the breeze, and Jim's wife, Angie, used to make the homemade Italian food. She would, feed them. She invited them to a party, and Jimmy was all excited. Their son, Jimmy, who I went to school with, anytime RJ was stopping around, RJ would say, yeah, we'll come by, bring the camera if you want us to, and we'll film something. But, we didn't want him to film. We just want him to come hanging out with us. Yeah, I'm doing it Monday. Monday morning, I'm doing the specials. I got to get all the information together. Monday morning, I got plans for a big NCAA tourney thing. Yep. Monday morning at 11 a.m. I'll be on. I'm going to have it all laid out by then, and I'll look over everything. I think Villanova, though, is going to be a top 4. I think Nova's definitely back again. Nova is always there. Jay Wright is just a damn good coach. Yeah. Yeah. Villanova under Jay Wright, I'm telling you. Nova is a team that you always got to be worried about in the brackets. Because Jay Wright is one of those guys that should be an NBA coach. He really has the skills. Yeah. I had a master control op call in sick. Okay, let's see. So he called in sick because he could not get out of his house. You jumped in your truck, brought him to work. There you go, Harry. That's awesome. Oh, nice. You gave him a station card to use. There you go. That's awesome, Harry. Yeah, listen, Harry, you know what? You're a businessman. You get what I'm saying. When you're running a business, you have to put on top of the ladder talent. You can't just throw anybody on the air, They got to be ready, primed for the air. That's the thing in the business, that you have to put on the best talent. And one thing RJ was good at, he was spot on for that. He knew how to find the talents that he needed to find, He brought in pro wrestlers. He brought in people who would call him up like me. That's how I got my start, I was calling him, and he said, well, this guy has content. He knows what the hell he's talking about. He ain't going to just go live on the air and, Yeah, Joe's doing really good. Yeah, everything's working out for Joe. Joe's a good guy, He's a real good guy, and everything's working out. He found a guy, it's good. Joe obviously, he's a guy, he is interested in guys, and he's dating a guy that's making him happy. So that's awesome, Your partner couldn't believe that you did that. Well, Harry, here's the thing, Harry. I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, here, the big thing is, you have to treat your employees the way you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the number one rule in the business, We used to rent limos and go down and pick RJ up and say, oh, come on, take a ride with us around the streets of Philadelphia, And we had a movie camera. We're filming. RJ's in my limo, like we filmed RJ walking to the limo. We told him we wanted to make a movie. We had all this damn footage on the movie camera. We filmed all this stuff on the movie camera. I have a piece of junk somewhere around here. Maybe we threw it in the garbage, but I thought I kept it. I don't know. But it was a movie camera, one of those handheld movie cameras. It was a Sony. My uncle took me to bought it. It was a piece of junk, but it did the job. It was junk, but it did the job. Does Disney treat their employees well? Well, I've heard stories. Everything I hear is that Disney, it is what it is. You're working for Disney. You gotta know the rules. Well, that's it, Harry. You know what? If you ever got stuck and you needed a guy to cover another shift, let's say the guy's doing the morning show and you need him for 4:00 in the afternoon, I would hope the guy would say, you know what, Harry, I'll leave the morning show. I'll come back here 4 in the afternoon and do you 2 more 2 hours. That's what you want people to do. Like if you get in a bind, you need somebody to cover. You get your morning show guy to come back at 4 in the afternoon and do it again. That's what the business is about. Like if you want to be a team member at a station, you got to be for the station. You can't be one of those guys that thinks, oh, I'm the star of the station because I got a morning show. No, they need you at 4 in the afternoon. You go back and you do another show. You say, hey, I'm Michael Wall Street today in for, I'm batting for Harry. Harry couldn't make it. I wouldn't say that on the air. I would say, I'm Michael Wall Street and I'm in for Harry today. Phone number is, we'll give out 407-555-1212. Give me a holler. Let's talk. What's on your mind today? Something like that. Or give me a call. And we'll talk about what you want to talk about here today on 8:40 a.m. There you go. So something like that. I'm an improv guy. I can do that improv stuff. I mean, I just did it off the top of my head. But you have to be able to deliver it all too. It's just, hey, it's timing, it's delivery. You can't mess up when you're live on the radio. You can't mess that up. You got to stay with the, you're on the internet. This stuff is just, this is what it is. It's the internet. Have I ever been a manager and had to fire somebody? No. I've never been a manager. I don't want to be a manager. We talked about me being a manager at my last full-time gig, and I said, no way. I don't want to be management. I was a training officer, though. They gave me a title of training officer. I would have to teach all the new kids the ropes. I told you about the Commissioner Gordon guy. He thought he was Commissioner Gordon. He told me one time, come back to headquarters. I said, dude, we're at a freaking security office. That's not headquarters. That's the way a guy talked, though. He said, come back to headquarters. And I just laughed it off, but I told my buddy, I said, it's Commissioner Gordon. Well, of course you did, Harry. Yeah. You know what, Harry, if you have people that, couldn't do the job right, you got to cut them loose. Your ratings are important. And you know what? You say something inappropriate on the air, you got to go. Okay, that's the number one rule. You have somebody come on the air and they start babbling something really bad, you have to cut them loose. It's time to go. Say goodnight. You're done. You're history. You truly are history. You can't, you seriously cannot tolerate that as an owner of a business. The number one rule in owning a business is you have to make the right decisions at the right time, because it's really hard to succeed as a business owner if you're making bad decisions, untimely decisions, and you got to be accurate with it. You got to be pinpoint. You got to know what the hell you're doing. There you go. You replace the whole staff. That's the way to do it. There you go. That you know what, Harry? That's exactly what you have to do to be successful. I get it, Harry. You have to do what you need to do to be successful. People don't get it. I would fire myself if I was failing miserably. I would literally fire myself if I was failing miserably. I would not keep myself in charge if I was failing miserably. I'd bring in somebody else to be the boss. And I would just go and do the duties that I need to do off whatever, I would do the, whatever operations I need to do. I would continue to do them, but I would hire somebody to run it if I was bad at it. Harry, let me tell you something. I'm trying to bring that girl on, right? And I told her I would hire her. And she's asking 1,000,001 questions. Like, I tell her what she needs to do, right? I've come to the point with her that I'm really reconsidering the idea of bringing her on, because she sounds like she has no idea. She sounds like she has no idea what the hell she's doing. She keeps asking me the same question in a different way over and over and over. Wow. I just got breaking news, guys. Harry, you ready for this big news? I just got a message from someone that actually is a legit big time act. I just got a message from a big time act. Wow. Should I give the name, Harry? I mean, you're in the business. You're a businessman. I don't think I should give the name. I should hold this one. I should hold this one and set up a time with her. I'll tell you what. We're going to have a big appearance this week, guys. Get ready. Coming up. I don't know what her schedule is, but she's a big time act. Lee, that guy is a bum, okay? Lee, that guy is a bum. It's the truth. He's a bum. All he wants to do is take money. He doesn't want to give back. The guy's a bum. he asked me to give him $100 one time, and he's a total bum, Lee. I actually blocked him last night because I had enough of his nonsense. No, this is a female, Lee, and this is a female with a resume. You know how many followers she has? She has over 50,000 followers on Instagram. She also, dude, this is legit, okay? This girl actually is legit. She has an album put out, dude. She's a singer, and she's really good. And her name ain't Mary Desmond either, dude. So, yeah, we're going to have to start the promotion for her appearance on the show. She just messaged me back. No, we're not going to sing, dude. I can't sing to save my life. I'm a talk show host, Lee. I'm not a singer, bro. Come on, man. Come on, Mr. Ramen Noodle. Come on, man. You know better. I'm a talk show host, man. I'm a talk show host. This is what I do, man. I talk. This is my business, dude. This is my thing. I mean, I'm a legit talk show host. I'm not a global talk show host, but I'm here on apps, and we're on YouTube and all those other places we're on. So, you know, Facebook, and we're on Twitch. Wow. Yes. She wants to come on as a guest, dude. Lee, here's how I wrote it to her. Time to talk about an appearance on my show. She wrote back with love to. She's a local girl, dude. She grew up in my area. And she's legit, dude. She has a resume, dude. She blows Mary Desmond's resume away, dude. She does. Seriously. You'll see what I'm talking about, dude, because she will tell you everything about her career, dude. That's what my interview's about, man. I can't give it away. Whew, wow, man, I'm scoring some big interviews. I already got one booked for Tuesday night. I've got a guy who's going to be he was a Philadelphia reporter with the NBC station, the Fox station here in town. He was a reporter for the news stations here, and he's now an actor, and he's going to come on with me on Tuesday night. We're going to talk it up. So, Harry, you definitely, we're going to bring you on with him. I'm going to interview him, and then I'll bring you on. That's what we're going to do, Harry, if you're interested. Coming on to talk to a Philadelphia, a reporter. So he was on the newscast there. He was a reporter covering all the big stories for the news channels, the NBC affiliate and the Fox affiliate. Lee, I can't do it, Lee. I can't get him on. He's very busy right now. There's no way, no how he's going to be able to do it right now. He's got a lot of things on his plate. He's getting ready to move to Tennessee. He's got a lot of things going on. I hope to get him on one day, okay? I mean, we're going to work. We're going to take baby steps, one step at a time. One step at a time. I want to get him on, but I know right now the time ain't right for him. He's got a lot of things going on. Lee, she's battling cancer, man. It's not the time, dude. It's not the time. Let me tell you something. What she did for the Phillies organization with the ALS Lou Gehrig Foundation was amazing, okay? I'm very well aware of what Shonda and Kurt did for the ALS Lou Gehrig Foundation in Philadelphia. They were very, very, very much involved in it, okay? They did a lot in Philadelphia, okay? So, that's my thing. They did a lot for our town here in Philadelphia. Yes, they did a lot. And I have a friend that I used to work with here in Philadelphia at the stadium that would talk highly of what they did, filled me in on all the things that they did. And because the friend that I had down there, it was actually a coworker that was friends with people in the front office that would tell her things, and she knew my background. Exactly, Harry. Exactly. What she's going through right now is nothing but a very bad situation. It's a nightmare, and I get that, Harry. Believe me, I get the whole thing is extremely difficult, extremely difficult. And I can only hope and pray that she will be blessed with good things in the near future. I really hope, man. I'm telling you, I'm so pulling for her. I'm pulling for everything to work out with Kurt. Like that. I'm pulling for them. Linda Luback was just a back crazy woman, Lee. Linda Luback was just crazy, and everybody knew it. So there you go. Nancy saying that she had radiation too. But I can't believe some of the messages I've been getting from people this week. It's all been positive. It's been very, very positive. The people I've been getting messages from. And then I get this dingbat that I'm trying to pay, and she's being totally. I mean, I'm sorry to say this. The girl's a looker, but she's a dingbat. This one who I'm trying to pay to come on, I'm trying to hire her to be part of this network, and I'll do better just interviewing people. I mean, she don't understand. I'm offering her money, and she's making it very difficult for me to bring her on. I'm going to have no choice but to forget about her. I mean, I had this massive announcement that she's going to join the Beer Man Network, and everybody's going to start asking me, like, dude, what is this network if you don't have a list of talent? Well, we're bringing somebody in soon. We're going to have another show host coming in soon. I've already got somebody lined up for that spot. I'm actually working on it. Let me see. Yeah, not right now. I would have the person actually pop in right now because I know they would do it in a heartbeat. I'd have to make a phone call, but you know, it's just I'm gonna tell you a story. I had an uncle that had lung cancer. He didn't tell nobody. Okay. I had an uncle, once again, that had lung cancer. He didn't tell a soul. When he told my dad, they took him to the doctors. He had a growth on his chest that was the size of it was a pretty large tumor on his chest. They sent him to the emergency room immediately. He was given 6 weeks to live, and he passed in less than 6 weeks. That was March 1st of 2005, the day he passed away. Okay. So my grandmother died of lung cancer, I believe it was. My mom said she died when my mom was 16. I never met my grandmother. So, I've definitely been, hit with the cancer situation, Yeah, it's garbage. Cancer is garbage. And it just, you know, it's just bad. Speaking of the devil, there goes my sister. There goes my sister. But yeah. Yeah, so, I understand that life is a living hell when somebody gets stricken with cancer, and it's a horrible thing. And like, Harry has told me the stories already about, it's brutal. Good Lord, dude. Good Lord. Man. Yeah, life gets real, man. I'm telling you, I don't know if you heard, Lee, but Mike Digital's mom passed away tonight. He came in the room and he's like telling us that, she literally just passed away. So yeah. Yeah, Mike's mom, I think he said she was 66, and he found out that she passed away. So yeah, it's just one of those nights, you know what I mean? Like, it's just human life happens. And tonight we've been talking about a lot of people, who unfortunately, a lot of people who unfortunately, who have unfortunately, succumbed to bad things, and I was just talking about passed away from cancer, Giant Gene, he came on and he told us, and and then I didn't hear from him for a little bit because life happened and I didn't really follow up much of him. And then boom, Giant Gene was gone one day. I found out. Good Lord. Whew. Good Lord. Yeah, no, Harry, I get it, man. I mean, more power to you. More power to you. Harry, I look at it this way from a different perspective. The people who are blessed with, different things also suffer in another way. You know what I mean? This world balances itself out. It really does. One thing I really started to think about is human life. And like I've seen different, things and how different people, like, tell their stories. And life is balanced. It really is. Like a lot of people don't realize that. So, you know, things are just, things are crazy. I mean, the world balances itself out, like, and it scares me because I'm going to be 45 and I don't go to a doctor on a regular basis at all. And the older you get, of course, the more problems crop up. So the more problems crop up, and that's, so it's just, I mean, yeah, I remember you telling me that story, Harry. It's just, yeah, it's scary. It really is what happens out here. No, I'm not getting the vaccine. I am not getting the vaccine. I am terrified of needles, and I am not getting it at this time. Later down the line, if they say to me, okay, you either get it or you deal with ramifications, then I will go get it. So my mother is in the process of going to get it. My father is not getting it. And he's 73 years old, and he said he is not getting it. So he's a retired firefighter, and he said he's not getting it. His brother got it. My uncle got it. He's 77, and he got both doses. He lives in Maryland, and he got both doses. So he went and got both doses of the vaccine. So, well, with COVID, I'll tell you what, Lee, I know a lot of people that got COVID. Okay. I was surprised when certain people would send me messages and say, "Hey, I got COVID," like, and you know, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. Well, here's the thing. Right now, I'm not in the clear to work right now because of the situation. I have asthma, and I had an inhaler. I haven't taken an inhaler recently. I also have injuries sustained in a car wreck, which I wish I had a picture, but I don't have a picture handy of what my convertible looked like on the day of the accident. I'm going to look up and see if I can find one on Twitter because I believe my Twitter account has a picture. I believe it has one of the accident of what my car looked like. I think it's under the media section. I have to go on under my Twitter. It's probably going to take me a while to find it, but I know I've loaded pictures of my car wreck up there. And I'm permanently disabled because of that. My doctors found things on the report about my neck that they were pretty concerned about. And They also predicted that the older I get, that there's a chance that, I could be paralyzed and in a wheelchair because of the effect of my accident. Here it is. I found it. Here's the picture of the accident. Can you guys see that? Let's see. That's my car, okay? Okay, that happened on the interstate. A woman crashed right into my car at 45 miles per hour. Okay? I'm pretty sure you could see that picture pretty good. Yeah, the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you tonight, that's my convertible, dude. That was my brand new convertible. Oh, I got a lawyer. Yeah, I had a lawyer. Yeah. Lee, remember the bar? That's what paid for that house to start out. That's why I had that house for 10 months as my home, because I did sue. Yes. Yes. I had a hotshot lawyer that sued her for me, obviously sued. So, yeah. That's what made that bar become a reality. Yeah, there was a reason why I had this fancy man cave that I lived in, because I received a settlement check. I'm not going to hide the fact the case settled for $75,000. So my lawyer took 40% because he was a hotshot. So, and then he said there was some other fees. I don't know. I didn't sell the house. My ex-wife owns the house. Soon to be ex-wife, because the divorce papers haven't been, the court hasn't officially granted the divorce, but the paper's been signed. It was a one of those process things. Yeah. So she owns a house. I Harry, I don't know who that is. Rev, I don't know who that is. Who's Rev? Well, yeah, the future in Florida is going to be bright. So, we have a realtor working right now, and we saved up some money. And Harry, I don't know who Rev is, buddy. It doesn't ring a bell to me, Harry. Unfortunately, I don't know who that is. I know a girl who goes by the name of, I think she goes by the name of Rev, something similar to Rev. Wiser Revolution, I believe, a resolution. Wiser Resolution. Harry, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. Who is this Revolution guy? Is he some like celebrity or something? Who is he, Harry? I don't know who he is. You want to tell me a little bit about him? Oh, it's a woman. Oh, it's a woman. Oh, I thought you were talking about that man with the glasses and the beard. Is that who he's referring to? A woman, or is he referring to? Because there's a guy on here on Haps that's like a guy with gray facial hair, and apparently someone famous. Is he famous, Harry? Who is this guy? Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it was the girl. I don't know. Well, Harry, you don't know him? You've never spoken to him before? You don't know the guy? I mean, like, because the way you acted, you said, oh, wow, he invited me. Like, like some Hollywood. Oh, he's big on Haps. Okay. Okay. Well, Randy Horton. Randy Horton is the big star that I know of. Yeah, Randy Horton. That's my buddy, Randy Horton. He's a big time guy. Yeah. Randy Horton is a big star. Oh, okay, you comment on there. Okay, there you go. There you go. Well, Harry, it's up to you. If you want to go stop in and talk to him, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just, Harry, wait till they hear who my guest is, though, Harry. When I release who the person who just said she's going to come on my show, she's a pretty big name from what I did my research on. Yeah, she has a an album out there. Randy was here last night, but my dinner was here. I was going to bring Randy on, but yes, right. Wiser is a friend of mine. She comes on often. She's a very good friend of mine. So we've been talking, here on the internet for. She helped me do a very special show, but I just had a girl who has an album, a singer, a girl who's from Philadelphia. That's a singer, and sure, go for it, Harry. Go ahead, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Have a good time with him. If he's willing to have you on, Harry, go for it. Yeah, go in there and have a conversation with him. I don't own your contract or you know what I mean. Like you're not obligated to me, Harry. You can do anything you want. You know what I mean? Like and that's an opportunity. Honestly, I kind of tell people like, hey, you get an opportunity like that. You know what? Drop in there and make yourself at home with them. I mean, you know, listen. Here's the thing about this, Harry. When you're broadcasting on an app like this, you have tons of shows. I mean, everybody has something. You know, when I bring people like I'm bringing in Harry, you're gonna love this girl though. Seriously, she's a really good singer. I keep calling her a girl, but honestly, she's a little bit older. She's I'm actually going to be able to give away. I'm going to be able to give away some of her albums here. I was told so. Yeah, I'm going to be able to give away some of her albums. She's a great singer. So, you know what? She has a whole bunch of songs here. We can't have her sing on the show, though. It's going to be an interview because YouTube would block it out. It's just a talk show interview, I'm going to tell her. But what we're going to do is we are going to, we're going to give away some of her albums. So, I mean, she has over 50,000 followers on Instagram. That says a lot, doesn't it? What do you guys think? If somebody has over 50,000, she has a picture where she was at the Grammys. Okay, she was actually at the Grammys, I believe, last year. No, it's not Mary Desmond. It's nobody from Busker. No, this young lady's never been on Busker. No, she's a little bit bigger than that. She's bigger than Mary Desmond. Trust me. From what I know of, I'm doing some more research. She's from my city though. Like that's why I became. She actually follows me. No, it's not Claire Means. I never spoke to Claire Means like that before. Nancy Claire Means is probably out above my level. You know what I'm saying? She's a big superstar. I know who Claire Means is, and I know who she is. She's a big superstar. But no, this lady here, she's pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. I'm going to find out. I'm going to make a phone call to one of my close friends and find out, like, who. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a big deal, though. She got over 50,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah, I'm going to find out. Oh, wow. She's also an actress. She's also an actress. I'm able to bring up the bio here, luckily. Let's see. I'm just checking real quick here. She's a singer and an actress. Okay. She's definitely been on some major shows. Yeah, I'm Googling now. I'm Googling right now. That's why I'm reading real quick. Uh, Wow. She hit the jackpot, according to this. Oh, wow. She was on with Regis Philbin. That's an awesome deal. She was on with Regis Philbin. That's a big deal. She also signed a 5-album record deal with Columbia Records. She signed with Columbia Records, okay? So she's a big deal, okay? And she's agreed to come on the show. I don't know when yet, but she's agreed I asked her to come on. She said she's down with it. She's from my hometown, and she's coming on with us. So there you go, guys. There's the announcement. I can't tell you who it is yet. I promise I will drop it before she comes on. You want to tell all your friends. I promise you will all get a chance to ask her a question. What I'm going to do is we're going to bring you up as callers, audio only, okay? We're going to bring you up callers, audio only, one at a time. You could raise your hand. I'll bring you up. We'll have a producer for this show. I'm going to bring in a crew for this show. Everybody will get a chance to ask her one question. I'll get her to agree to it. Don't worry about it. I can get my talent to agree to stuff. Trust me. We're going to have a good time with it. It's going to be a fun show. So once again, I will tell you this much. You know what? I'll let the cat out of the bag. She won America's Got Talent. Okay? She won America's Got Talent. My guest coming next week, she won America's Got Talent. There you go. That's what I'm going to tell you right now, okay? So get ready. It's going to be a fun week next week. We have my guest, Doug Schimel, who's a former news reporter with NBC and Fox in Philadelphia. He was a news reporter on the newscast here in Philadelphia. And then he's also now an actor. He's going to tell us about his new gig as an actor. And he also does some radio shows. He does a radio show locally in the Philadelphia market. So Doug Schimel will be with me on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. on the Michael Wall Street Something to Talk About. Well, we call it Michael Wall Street Tonight, not Something to Talk About. I'm all excited in my mind right now. I just can't believe I got myself a really big week coming up. So, yeah, we're going to have some really, really good guests here. I'm telling you. Doug is a very friendly guy. He'll take any questions you have. I'm going to ask him some things about, questions about the news business. And, we're going to discuss some things. Trust me. Doug's real good about that. He'll discuss it with you. He might even tell you some classic stories where me and him are covering the same story together. I didn't work on TV as a reporter. I worked on Independent Scene as a reporter. So I covered some stories on nowlive.com. Actually, I did. So, yeah, I've interviewed lots of people in my life. So, everybody says I'm a natural in interviews. All righty. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody tonight. Go check out Harry over on Revolution Show. Yeah, go over there and check Harry out. So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Good job as always with the numbers. I loved it. We had a good crowd tonight. It's a lot of fun. I'm ecstatic about this interview coming up. So I will tell you what night she's on. My guest is a winner of America Got Talent. She will be on. She's a recording artist and an actress. So get ready. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.